What's up, everyone? Welcome to Tony's Timepiece Review. Today is Wednesday, April something, the Wednesday after the Sunday, whatever date that was, when I purchased my Rolex Submariner. I love this watch, man. I am so stoked. This thing is just awesome. And I just have to say thank you to everyone who commented on all the views that I got. I really appreciate it, and all the people that commented. It just means a lot to me, actually. So I appreciate it. I did get a lot of questions, and one of the most common questions I'm getting is about how to either develop a relationship with your AD. How am I getting watches? One guy commented, asked me a question, is that he's been on a wait list for, a couple of years, over a year or whatever, and he hasn't gotten one Rolex, whereas I seem to be getting them every other month or so. It's more like every few weeks. I'm just kidding, no. And the questions I'm getting, it's sometimes can be difficult to answer because, I can't speak for you. I don't know who you are, so I don't know how you interact with the AD. And again, also, the AD, keep in mind these are just people. You're trying to develop a relationship with a person, and that's like saying, well, how do I get a girlfriend? Be authentic, be yourself. And if she digs you, she digs you. And if she doesn't, she doesn't. Simple as that, right? And I say girlfriend or whatever it is because I don't think there's a lot of chicks that watch my channel. So, but if there is a chick watching my channel, if you're looking for a boyfriend, same scenario applies, different sex. But I will answer a couple of questions. And I did get a new microphone, so this should help with the audio. Someone did comment that my audio and visual is holding back my channel, which I kind of agree with. I'm not going to go out and buy an expensive camera or anything like that. It's just, I think it's also the sense of the lighting. So right now I'm in my recording studio, and I'm trying out this new mic. So just bear with me, and I'll get to, so many questions about doing different types of videos that I'll get to. But just wanted to answer a few questions. One guy named Alex R. How hard is it to get a 36 millimeter Datejust white gold? I gave up on sports models. I don't know. I can't answer that. I could tell you this, that, and I'm drinking beer, so cheers if you are too. I can tell you that even though the sports models and the stainless steels are more in demand than the gold, that's on the actual gray market aspect of it. In the authorized retail market, gold is much harder to get. So my AD told me that for every 10 steel models they get 2 or 3 gold models. I don't know if that includes two-tone, because of course if you're looking for a 36 millimeter Datejust, they don't make all solid gold on that. You'd be talking about the day date with the presidential bracelet, and that's obviously not the same watch. So, so I'm not sure on that. I don't know if it would be easier. I think it might. Yeah, I don't know because the gold aspect of it. So I can't really answer that. The thing is I would, go to your AD and talk to them about it if you have a good relationship with them and see what they say. Another comment from ORS, asked me if I could do a current collection and then talk about when I wear them and the future of my collection. I'll do a video on my collection, sure. It does vary on what I have, and then I have several watch boxes with several watches, so they kind of rotate. But at the same time, the watches and how I choose to wear what I'm wearing, it's just really what I'm feeling for that day. If I have a new watch like my sub, I've been wearing it a lot. However, today it was like 100 degrees outside, so I wore my Nomos. One thing I hate about when it's really, really hot, you take the watch off and it's soaking wet underneath, and I don't want to do that to this just yet. I know, it's just what it is. It's my new baby. I'm just getting used to it. I love it, right? So I just wear my watches how I want to wear them. There's no specific thing. If I go out, depending on where I go, it also depends on what I'm going to wear. You know what I mean? What kind of watch I'm going to wear. It's just how I'm feeling that day. There's no real I don't go to a place and say, well, today is a Cartier day. Well, I'm doing something tomorrow or a week from now. I'm gonna break out this watch. It's just how I roll that day. I mean, I did one of my other videos. I went to my AD to buy one of my watches, and I wore my Swatch watch to the AD. You know what I mean? So it just really varies. And again, as far as people that are talking about going to the AD and developing a relationship and getting on a wait list, it's not like they walk into the AD and there's a chalkboard that says Rolex waiting list, put your name here. Essentially, you have to just get to know the person you're dealing with, and if they like you and if you like them. Again, because I can't really speak for you or the AD. Again, it's like going to Starbucks. You go to Starbucks every day and you get a coffee, and the barista, and she's really super nice and whatever, and you get your coffee, maybe give you a discount or whatever it is, or give you a bagel for free or something like that. And then you go in and there's another person working there, and they may know you, they may have seen you a bunch of times, but all of a sudden, they're not very nice to you. You know what I mean? So and sometimes you're nice to people, and they don't reciprocate that back to you. So depending on what kind of day they've had. So again, it's kind of a luck of the draw when it comes down to it, isn't it? So here's another one. This one came from Instagram, actually, and honestly, it's just a really long channel, XOXO SK8 something, and then XOs and whatever. Congrats. Thank you if you're watching this. I appreciate it. How do you recommend building a relationship with an AD without spending thousands on watches you don't want? I've been on a wait list for an OP for over a year. That's kind of an easy question, really. Cheers. You walk into an OD. You want an OP. You walk into a Rolex AD, and they've got all these other brands, right? Unless you're going into a specific Rolex boutique. And you're telling me that there's not one other watch you want in that whole entire store other than an Oyster Perpetual? I don't know, man. Are you a collector, or are you just a one-watch guy? That's all you want, and that's fine too. But in that case, you're kind of like a one-hit wonder in a sense. You want to develop a relationship, but there's no point in developing a relationship because you have to spend money in order to build that relationship. Again, I'll go back to meeting you want to meet a girl and you take her out to dinner, but you don't want to spend any money. So where do you say you take her to McDonald's? Because it doesn't cost anything or hardly anything. It's not going to be real. They're not going to be really impressed with you, are they? So my suggestion is buy something. Talk to your AD. Be genuine too, man. Don't cop an attitude when you're in there. I want an AD. I've seen it, man. I've seen people go into that into my AD with like total shit attitudes, man. And it's just like, and I've got some other stories that my AD has told me about. That's just insane. It's just like the perfect way of not to ever get the watch you want. Okay, so the case being in this one, if you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on other watches, buy one watch. See if you can build a relationship that way. If you really only just want an OP and that's it, then it's super easy. Go to Chrono 24, spend the premium on them, get your watch, and that's it. You spend a couple $1,000s more, but you're obviously not spending thousands more on other watches just to get your OP. All the watches I bought when I go into a Bindi is watches that I like and watches that I want. So it's not in any way that I have to buy all this stuff in order to get my Rolex. So it's just I have a good relationship. Plus my AD, I was a watchmaker, watch designer, and I was in magazines. I sold a lot of watches. I also did the Casio, where I painted the Casio G-Shock and hand painted them, and he bought one from me and loves it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, just got a good relationship. Crypto dude, congrats. How long have you been waiting? I've been on a list for 2 years for a Rolex at Bindi and Artesia. I check in, but no luck. First of all, thanks, man. I wasn't really on a waiting list. I essentially just bought my Cartier, or I bought a Rolex there in 2018 when there was no wait list, and I even got a discount on it on a 36mm date just. And from there, then I bought a Cartier, Then eventually I asked about a Rolex and kind of went from there. The sub, there was no waiting list at all, and I was looking to get another OP, and then this came in and he offered it to me, so I was pretty stoked about that. I guess in your case, been 2 years, man. I don't know. You say you check in, but do you go in there and talk to them face to face? Have you bought anything else? Be genuine. Just go in there and say, hey, I'm still waiting, and I'm looking forward to getting it. What do you think? Ask them. Because I think what happens is, I think they get like a big container. I can't really speak on this. I'm just speculating that they get a container of watches, for all their stores, and they get allocated per store to each rep, and then kind of like that, and then that rep will contact that person that's on their little list and see if they're still interested in it. My AD contacted me, sent me a text the other day, said, hey, are you still interested in an OP? Just want to make sure, because if you are, I want to give it to you and not the next guy in line. I said, when it comes in, let me know, and I'll think about it. So this is a longer video than like I usually like to do, but I appreciate everyone. Again, if you have any other questions and things like that, man, I'm just super stoked. I'm a genuine watch enthusiast. I just love watches. So having said that, you guys have a great night. Peace out.